Liverpool are now looking to sign a £17 million midfielder with twice as many tackles as Romeo Lavia. Liverpool may need to change tactics in their search for a new midfielder. Indeed, after missing out on two of England's hottest young talents in Romeo Lavia and Moises Caicedo, it may be time for the Reds to go after a more established option. There are plenty of quality midfielders who could be absolutely fantastic in the role of holding midfield for Liverpool, and while they may be a little older, you can't replicate the experience on the pitch. According to reports, Liverpool are now looking at a slightly more experienced option. Apparently, the player they are most impressed with among the experienced names is João Paulinha. It has to be said that the Portuguese midfielder would be absolutely fantastic under Jürgen Klopp. The more you think about it, the more you realize that Paulinha has the ability to be an excellent player in this new-look midfield. With Alexis Mac Allister and Dominic Szoboszlai being the more creative options for the Reds, the Merseyside club need a destroyer behind them, and Paulinha is one of the best in the business. The Portuguese star made more tackles than any other player in the Premier League last season, averaging 4.2 tackles per game. To put that in context, Romeo Lavia averaged half that at 2.1 per game, while Moises Caicedo averaged just 2.7 per game. Signed by Fulham for £17 million last summer, Paulinha has taken to life in the Premier League like a duck to water. And while he is now worth a lot more than £17 million, he is likely to be a valuable signing for any top 6 club looking for a new defensive midfielder. It's no surprise to see Liverpool pushing for this transfer after losing their options to Chelsea. The Reds were also interested in the Portuguese at halftime last season, but nothing concrete materialized. He currently has a market value of €40 million according to Transfermarkt. He is only 28 years old and still has years to play top-level football. Paulinha's contract with Fulham expires in 2027. Fulham could therefore ask for a fee above his market value. Given his experience in the Premier League, the Portuguese will have no problem adapting to Liverpool. With the season starting and no one in the number 6 role, Paulinha could come straight in and start. Carragher gives his strong views on the transfer crisis. Former Liverpool defender Jamie Carragher has given his strong views on how the Reds have handled the transfer market this summer after failing to agree deals for Moises Caicedo and Romeo Lavia. It all started very positively for Liverpool in the transfer market. After quickly signing Alexis Mac Allister from Brighton and Hove Albion, the Reds were able to add Dominic Szoboszlai from Leipzig after triggering the Hungarian's release clause. After a disappointing season on the pitch, Liverpool's summer rebuild was going quite well. However, the last few weeks have been disastrous for Jürgen Klopp, with the club embarrassingly losing 2 midfielders to Chelsea in the space of a few days. Liverpool looked set to sign Lavia from Southampton, but 3 low bids were rejected after Southampton demanded £50 million or more for the Belgian. The Reds then made a £111 million bid for Caicedo, but the Ecuadorian rejected Liverpool in favour of a move to Stamford Bridge. The Reds then offered Southampton £60 million for Lavia. However, he was rejected by the midfielder and once again opted for a move to Chelsea. Liverpool's usually smart approach to the transfer market appears to have disappeared, much to the dismay of fans around the world. Speaking to Sky Sports, Carragher criticised his former club's approach at the window, calling it a joke. They need to get someone in midfield, people know they are desperate. 4 or 5 days ago they refused to pay £50 million for Lavia, and today they've offered £60 million. It's a complete mess. It's a joke. The biggest problem with that is that Liverpool have known since August last season, 12 months ago, that they needed midfield reinforcements. People think I'm defending FSG. I have nothing to do with them. But it's not about the owners, it's about the structure of the football club. When you go back 2 years ago, Liverpool was a model that not only the Premier League should follow, but every team in Europe should follow. When Liverpool were winning the league, going to the Champions League finals, what are they doing now? They don't spend as much money as other teams, but they produce these players. Yes, they had a great manager, but at the top of the club there was a man called Michael Edwards, director of football, transfer committee, whatever you want to call it under him. He was working well. He left. He was replaced by his number 2, Julian Ward. He was in charge for 6 months and then he left. You have to ask why these people left the football club, he said. Carragher described Liverpool's inability to strike a deal as embarrassing, and said both of the Reds' signings so far have been due to the triggering of release clauses. The Reds have been renowned for their negotiating skills in recent years but have struggled to close deals this summer. Liverpool fans will have to sit back and hope the club redeems itself in the final weeks of the transfer window. Now that Caicedo has officially joined Chelsea and Lavia's transfer looks a real possibility, the Reds will have to turn their attention to other transfer targets in the coming weeks. Ideally, Liverpool will sign one or two more central midfielders, one of whom can play as a number 6 and a left back. Liverpool's plans for Mohamed Salah and Alisson amid interest from Saudi Arabia. Liverpool have no intention of selling Mohamed Salah or Alisson this transfer window despite interest from Saudi Pro League clubs, sources close to the club have confirmed. The Reds have received over £50 million from Saudi Arabian clubs this summer following the sale of Fabinho to Al Ittihad and club captain Jordan Henderson to Al Ettifaq. Salah's name has been repeatedly linked with a move to the Saudi Professional League in recent months, although his agent has previously moved to quash rumors of a possible transfer and issued statements. Recent reports suggest that intermediaries linked to the league's public investment fund-owned clubs Al Nasr, Al Hilal, Al Ahly and Al Ittihad have recently made contact not only with Salah's representatives but also with goalkeeper Alisson's. However, they have not received any encouragement that either player is willing to move to Saudi Arabia at this time. Salah and Alisson are happy at Liverpool and do not want to leave Anfield at the moment. Both stars joined the Reds from Roma. Salah arrived on Merseyside in 2017 and Alisson a year later. Together they have won every trophy they can at club level. While Liverpool are expected to keep Salah and Alisson, the huge salary offers from Saudi clubs this summer could throw everything into disarray. Many stars have joined Arabia on a permanent transfer this summer. Even from the Premier League, many star players have made Arabia their next destination. Even though their hook for two Liverpool stars has paid off, the fact that they now want two more important stars is a big danger for the Reds. Alisson and Salah have almost no alternatives at the club. There is no right winger who can contribute as much as Salah, while the alternatives in goal are not as good as Alisson. Therefore, the departure of these two players this season could be a huge blow for the Reds. Liverpool must do whatever it takes to keep the two stars in the squad.